Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and yes, I forgot again, I'm checking my volumes for Nick Burafado from Link2. Reminder, Link2, if you go to linqto.com, my sponsor, or you can download their app, they have they're doing a special on several different, actually let me look at it real quick. They are doing 5% discount on Ripple, Cerebras, Automation Anywhere, Stripe, Quamulo, Tanium, Deal, Dune Analytics until midnight tonight, $2,500 minimums. Look at this, gold just hit a new record high, even with the hotter than expected inflation data. Maybe investors figured out that the combination of rising inflation and rate cuts is bullish for gold. GDXJ must rise 10% today just to match its high from 3 weeks ago when gold was lower. Then we have this now, last video it was China, now it's the European Central Bank cuts rates by 0.25% for the second time this year, and then next week supposedly the Fed's going to do the same. Look at this, eGrag Crypto reposting this. We've got an XRP price surge. Let me see what it's at right now. XRP took off. I'm showing up 8.24% on the day. XRP, nothing's changed. And then he's got the next 40% pump will be epic in macro view. The chart below is insanely bullish. And the breakout to the upside will be nothing short of legendary. That 41% pump he's talking about would take XRP up to $3.50, up around its all-time high, I guess is what he's talking about. I'll take it. The reason XRP took off today, you're looking at it. Scoop, Grayscale to launch the first US XRP trust, paving the way for a potential ETF. Here's Grayscale. We're proud to announce the creation of a new single asset crypto investment fund, Grayscale XRP Trust, which will be available through private placement, available to eligible accredited investors. And then we've got this crypto fund manager Grayscale launching an XRP trust that could pave the way for a spot XRP ETF in the US. It's coming, folks. Make no mistake about it. Now here's Grayscale's website. The only ETFs they have right now are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum, which still has not been in a lawsuit, still has no regulatory clarity, but for some reason the SEC continues to give Ethereum a free pass. Bitcoin, who still hasn't had any lawsuit, who still doesn't have any regulatory clarity, but in the opinions of the people currently in power, Bitcoin's not a security. So it still has no legal clarity like XRP, but these two get a free pass still. Look at this. This is a line on Grayscale's website. Grayscale had a product. It says, by facilitating cross-border payments that just take seconds to complete, XRP has the potential to transform the legacy financial infrastructure. I thought it was just a shit coin all this time. And then eToro settled with the SEC and limits crypto trading in the US. Trading will be limited to Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ether following the $1.5 million settlement, not XRP, which is the only digital asset with legal clarity. And then Paul Graywall, he's showing this eToro settlement. They just conceded that ETH is not offered as an investment contract security in secondary markets. Why'd they concede that? Ethereum's had no lawsuit. Gary said it's facts and circumstances, which means Ethereum would have to go in a lawsuit to find out which of their transactions are securities, because it's a different set of facts and circumstances from XRP. So you can't just give Ethereum that is not an investment contract in the secondary markets. It needs to go through a lawsuit. Why will the SEC not put Bitcoin or Ethereum through a lawsuit? And don't say that they don't know who Satoshi is, because they do. They know there's 4 of them. Homeland Security met with them. We have it on video. All of this has been a facade. And Paul Graywall, he's asking the question, but the SEC will not explain why Ethereum and Bitcoin and no others, because they can't. There's no plan, no framework, no logic. And I said, Paul, it's because ETH XRP Unleashed is coming. All will be exposed. Don't you worry. Sit tight, Paul. Sit tight. I am Paul Graywall.eth. And then this is from Eleanor Terrett. New SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is under investigation by top Republican lawmakers Jim Jordan, Patrick McHenry, James Comer for engaging in suspected political favoritism in his hiring practices. To me, I look at this and I'm like, well, okay, that's the least of Gary Gensler's transgressions. It's almost like these guys are picking something that won't really put him away to focus in on. If I didn't know better. And then this is from Jason Cousins, who is one of my sponsors. He's the Glint CEO. He and the CEO of Miles Franklin, Andy Schechtman, they created their own YouTube channel. And Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad was on.
How can you live debt-free when the dollar is debt?
From an AI perspective, what they are delivering at scale, it's going to have an impact on the world that no one understands yet.
Right now, the banks are collapsing, but nobody tells us anything about it. The biggest bank bailout was not 2008, it was 2023. It was called Silicon Valley Bank.
Our schools are training young people to become employees. So if you were in charge of the schools, what lessons would be mandatory in your curriculum?
If every school teacher realized there were Marxists, maybe we'd have some changes. We flew behind enemy lines, Andy. We took our guns off because it was behind enemy lines. We came as capitalists, not Marines. We walked through this little bamboo village where the mine was. And these Vietnamese people are saying, these guys are freaking nuts. I kicked this guy's duck. It looked like a rugby ball going over there. I'm going, oh my God, now they're going to kill me because I killed their duck. They steal your wealth through your money, through inflation and taxation. So that's why I save in gold and silver.
Okay, there are things called the resilient compass. Remember that time when Senator Warren had a plant run against John Deaton, Chuck Kane, or whatever his name was? This interview feels planted too. John Deaton has nothing to do with Google. So Joe Rogan has this guy on, okay? This guy is like a researcher, and he was talking about how Google has rigged its search results, which we know, but here's the thing, folks. Everything that we've seen in regard to that has been to the favor of Senator Warren's party, not to the favor of the other party. So this guy comes on, and in the interview, he admits that he is a, you know, that woman who's married to a president. You know, the woman last name starts with a C, and we don't say her name. We're going to say her name in DAI XRP, but not out here we don't. Well, he said he was a big fan of hers. So that tells me he's on that side. Now, what he floats out here is, which is a red flag. He comes on Rogan, and he just happens to throw out there that Senator Warren was going after Google for antitrust, and then throws out there that these guys are wanting to get rid of her, and then he throws John Deaton's name with him. But John Deaton has nothing to do with Google. You can go and look at who's donated to John Deaton, and it's not Google. It feels like Senator Warren sent this guy to lob that out there on Joe Rogan.
So this is a shocker, because if it's Elizabeth Warren, who's a very well-known liberal politician, they should be sending lots of blue stuff to her. They're not. They want her out of office. They are sending people to content that vilifies Elizabeth Warren. They want her gone. Why? Because she is one of the only Dems who's gone on record, written statement, the whole thing, calling for Google's breakup. They want her gone. And Deaton, I guess, just won the nomination to oppose her for the Republicans.
Keep in mind, this is the same Joe Rogan who has not been willing to have John Deaton on the program. So now they've lobbed this accusation to try to affiliate him with these Google founders when he doesn't have anything to do with them.
They are going to do everything possible to put this Republican into office in Massachusetts.
Wow.
And no one knows this except you and me, Owen James.
Well, a lot more people know it now.
Yeah, almost
maybe.
like by design.
As of you saying this on this podcast, yes.
Well,
unless they're going to suppress the podcast.
So
really
Joe Rogan owes John Deaton to getting on that show so he can defend himself, because that's just not true. It reminds me of when Elizabeth Warren tried to affiliate John Deaton with Donald Trump, which John Deaton's not even a Trump fan. Then Meta Lawman comes out with this, announcing the Bitcoin for Deaton challenge. I just contributed 1 Bitcoin to defeat Senator Warren and elect Deaton for Senate. Now I'm challenging the Bitcoin community, particularly the whales, to please stand up for freedom and contribute hashtag Bitcoin for Deaton in the next 7 days. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss have generously stepped up. We urgently need other leaders in the Bitcoin space to contribute and amplify. He's calling out Tim Draper, Saylor, and all the other guys. Why is it important for Bitcoiners to respond to the Bitcoin for Deaton challenge? Do these issues matter to you? Freedom, privacy, right to self-custody, right to proof of work mining in the U.S. I stand with John Deaton because he'll fight for us. How do I contribute Bitcoin for Deaton to Commonwealth Unity Fund Super PAC? It's easy. You can contribute Bitcoin through the Gemini portal right here. So let's go to the Gemini portal, see what it looks like. There we go. You just click on that link that's in his tweet, and it takes you, this is their website, but that link takes you directly to this, and then you can contribute Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC. Step up to the plate, guys. Look, and here's a good point. Can Deaton win? Heck yeah. In 6 months, John went from zero name recognition in Massachusetts to win the GOP primary with 65% of the vote. John's personal story and commitment to freedom is resonating across the political spectrum. Support for John comes from left, right, and center. What's so urgent about contributing now? There are just 54 days left to the election. It's literally now or never. Senator Warren has huge influence over U.S. financial policy. She's the one that's been running Operation Choke Point 2.0. There's no reason under the sun that everybody listening to my voice should not contribute to John Deaton. I have. So go for it. All you Bitcoin maxis out there, you say you're pro-crypto, she's anti all of it. Remember when she put Jamie Dimon up there? Said, he said, I think you ought to just ban it all. Well, she set that question up. She set the whole thing up. Now or never, folks. Okay. I'm going into DAIXRP.com, and I'm going to show the whole point of me creating DAIXRP.com was to be able to talk about things that I cannot talk about out here. I would put literally, there are some things that could literally put your life in jeopardy to talk about out here. The thing I'm going to talk about today is one of those things, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.